So there's that. If we go over here, we pull up this shit here. This is insane. New survivor, we'll get into her in just a sec. Item and add-on descriptions have been rewritten considerably, and other vague terms have been replaced with number values. Added in reminder text for status effects. Any add-ons that trigger status effects also include a brief description on the status effects. So the Magic the Gathering rule, basically. Hatch will now only appear when one survivor is left alive. Survivors can open the hatch if it has been kicked shut by using a key. Can open after it's been kicked shut. Interesting. So so you don't have to. Well, if there's only one survivor left, yeah, then it automatically opens. Yeah, never mind. Key interaction takes about 2.5 seconds and does not lose progress when interrupted. The achievement "Where did they go?" has been changed to the key to escaping, which I didn't know you could change achievements after launch, but there you go. The hatch change is effectively the much-asked-for key nerf in disguise, preventing survivors from escaping the trial prematurely. It is also intended to reduce situations where survivors would camp the hatch, waiting for the teammates to die so they could escape. Pretty good. I mean, I like their intent. It's just incredibly shitty that that it has to be it only comes down to one survivor. And if you have a key, then there you go. That's the only issue I have with it. The charge bar is fine. I'm A-okay with that. So, the trapper, here we go. Base trap carrying capacity and starting traps increased to 2. It was only 1. So now he can basically carry 2 traps at once, and he basically has 6 traps starting on the board flat out. So there's that. Trap aura color changed from red to white to be consistent with other killer object auras. Alright, fair enough. Number of traps spawned on a given map is always 6. It was random from 4 to 6 there. Plus the 1 you would have, so you would start with 4, and then the plus 1 would be 5. Yada yada. And trapper gloves, okay. So these have been changed. Setting speed bonus increased to 30 was 20. Trap escape modifier removed for the wax brick. Added effect 33% increase to rescue and escape time. Rarity decreased to unknown, and it was a rare. So now it's an uncommon. I said unknown, I meant uncommon. Trapper bag increased to rare was uncommon. Reduced the number of additional traps to 1 was 2. Secondary coil, increased trap disarm time to 50. Fastening tools, trap escape modifier removed. Added effect 25% increase to rescue and escape time. Rarity decreased to rare. Those are very rare. Ooh. Oily coil. When resetting a bear trap, reveal the aura of the most recent survivor to disarm it for 5 seconds. That sounds interesting. That might help. Trapper sack. Although, probably not. If we get into one of those situations yesterday with the trapper, it probably won't help. Trapper sack. Bear traps are carried at the beginning of the trial instead of spawning on the map. Bear traps cannot be picked up. That fucking thing sucks. That fucking sucks. Mainly because of that right there. I would love it if it was just this. This being tacked onto it, the can't be picked up, unnecessary. So the trapper sack, we're gonna burn those off this upcoming week, I would say, when we get back to the live server. Bear oil. Setting a bear trap is silent. Ooh, makeshift wrap. The trapper cannot be caught by his bear traps. The bear trap will be disarmed if the trapper steps on them. Again, that feels like it should just be part of his ability. I'm being perfectly honest. Coffee Grinds. Gain a 5% haste status effect for 5 seconds after setting a bear trap. Bear traps inflict a deep wound on survivors? No. The bear trap resets 2 seconds after a survivor escapes from it. The following add-ons have been removed. Strong Coil Spring, Trap Setters, Logwood Die, Setting Tools, and the Stitched Bag. New trap sound effects when using Padded Jaws add-on. Trapper's one of the oldest killers, and he needed some love to bring him up to our modern standard of play. He needs a lot more! Many of these changes are focused around bringing him into the line with how the rest of our killers behave. Traps have been balanced to provide more consistent game experiences. I disagree. And his add-ons have been overhauled to give a greater variety of options. I mean, some of them are good, I'm not gonna lie. But it's like, I don't think... Here's, like, killers should not be clowned by their own fucking power. Okay? I don't think it would be that big of an issue if trappers could just, like, be immune to their own traps, you know? Like, it's up there with Legion. The fact that if you stab people too many times, you're punished for it. It's the same thing here. Like, I think the fucking... That ability should just be part of him. And they keep doing this type of shit where it's, like, a really obvious power that should be just automatically applied to the killer. Rather than having an add-on for it. But maybe I'm wrong. It's nice that they're, you know, kind of freshening them up again, but this is like a yearly, like a bi-yearly thing that they do. It's like, okay, let's spruce up Trapper so that more people can play him, only to realize he still kind of sucks. So, there's that. The Wraith, uncloaking speed boost duration reduced to 1 second, was 1.25 seconds. Ooh. All-Seeing Blood. Or reveal range decreased to 8 meters. Ooh, was 12. Recent buffs to the Wraith have made him a wee bit overpowered, so these changes are intended to adjust to the most obviously overpowered elements. I disagree. We'll continue monitoring how he performs and potentially have more changes for him in the future. Hillbilly. Added effect. Decreases heat generated while charging by 14%. Added effect. Decreases heat generated while charging by 14%. Charge speed bonus after being stunned increased to 18, was 12% for the helpers. Charge speed bonus increased to 25%, was 20 for the tuned carburetor. Reworked add-on to Black Grease, increased chainsaw charge speed by 18 for 30 seconds after being blinded. Pink House Gloves increases action speed by 20% when breaking pallets or walls, or damaging gens while overheated. Decreases duration of pallet stun by 50%. Engraving add-ons are very popular with the players, but the increased charge time means that you generate significantly more heat for a full charge with these add-ons than without. Heat reduction modifier has been added to keep the amount of heat produced for one full charge constant. I've also improved some of the underperforming add-ons to make them more enticing. Sorry, until they like mess with his control scheme, I don't think I'll honestly just be like, hey, I want to play Hillbilly. Until they fucking figure that out. Torn Bookmark. Removed line of sight restriction. Hell yes. Added effect. Increases blink recharge time by 50%. Line of sight restriction on Torn Bookmark wasn't terribly fun to play with, so we replaced a new downside, which we feel is more in line with what players would expect. I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. So you get like 3 charges, but you get 3 charges, but they recharge slowly. So if you pair that with one of the like last breaths or whatever, you should be alright. The shape. Memorial Flower is now a common, was an uncommon. Vanity Mirror. Removed the speed penalty. What the fuck? And Judas Tombstone. Speed penalty now only applies to Evil Within 3. Rarity change to Memorial Flower brings the shape in line with all of our other killers in terms of add-on rarity distribution. Additionally, we have removed the movement speed penalties that prevented 2 add-ons from realistically enabling their intended playstyles. Our condolences to players who use these add-ons for comedic purposes. Ha! It's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. Sure. Maybe more people will start using those again, I guess. I don't know. Waterlogged shoe, increased speed bonus to 4.5%, was 2%. Waterlogged shoe is the Hag's worst performing add-on, so we've given it a buff to help make it more viable. Help the Hag move at regular killer speed at 4.6. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now, I haven't seen this, so I'm going to react to this in real time here. Added bag of gears, increased reverse bear trap setting speed bonus to 50%, was 20. Okay. Crate of gears, decreased jigsaw box search penalty to 33, was 43%. Decreased reverse bear trap death timer modification to 20 seconds, was 30. Rule set number 2, decreased rarity to rare, was an ultra rare. I mean, that's still shitty if you didn't like adjust anything on it. Jigsaw box reduction removed on Amanda's letter. Aura reveal range increased to 60 meters, was 12. Might give that a try. Medical file increases crouched move speed by 6%. Razor wires. Failing a jigsaw box skill check while uninjured will injure the survivor. Ooh! Oh, I like that. Oh, that seems pretty good. Especially if you're like fully healed at a box and you approach them and they fuck up the skill check and then they become injured. That's great. I actually like that. Workshop grease. Increase ambush attack charge speed by 50%. Decreases ambush attack miss cooldown by 25%. Increased rarity to uncommon was a common. Increase ambush attack charge speed by 50%. Decreases ambush. Huh. I'll have to take a look at that. Last will increases ambush attack movement speed by 6%. To charge ambush attack by 66%. Okay. Interlocking razor, failing a jigsaw box skill check while injured, will inflict deep wound on the survivor. I really, I would love it if I could get behind deep wound the way DBD devs think it's a good mechanic in the game, because it's really not, if I'm being honest. But cool, I guess. Jigsaw's annotated plan increases available reverse bear traps by 1. Increase reverse bear trap death timer by 10 seconds. Whenever a generator is completed, 10 seconds is removed from the death timer of all active reverse bear traps. Now we're talking. Hell yeah. Sketch increases available reverse bear traps by 1. When a survivor with a reverse bear trap is working on a generator, that generator's aura is revealed to you. Ho ho! And then the videotape, which is currently disabled on the PTB. Survivors begin the trial with reverse bear traps installed? What? What? Yo, let's go, dude. Oh man, that sucks that it's disabled, because I would love to fucking mess with that. Oh my god, how many do we have? Wait, I just realized, how many of those do we have? Hey Celeste, how's it going? How many? Oh my god. Dude. $109. Oh my god. Dude, that's gonna be insane. I know what I'm gonna be going for after the PTB here. That's incredibly insane. Everybody starts with the fucking reverse bear traps installed. Hell yeah, dude. So there's no more blindness, which is kind of shitty. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Reverse bear traps inflict blindness until removed. Does not affect the jigsaw box aura. Okay. Well, that's kind of shitty. That's kind of shitty. Because the whole point of blindness was that it affects the box auras as well, I believe, right? At least I think so. Ambush attack movement speed by 6%, increased time. Well, this would just give you an extra one. An extra head trap. Increased time to charge ambush. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, for the sake of experimentation here, I wouldn't mind playing some matches here. Inflicts mangled until removed, exhausted until removed, that's pretty much the same. Disables the survivor's ability to see jigsaw boxes until highlighted until the trap is activated. So maybe there's some sort of combo with this and the face mask, I guess, if you really wanted to go with full blindness. Annotated plan. Increases reverse bear trap death timer by 10 seconds. Whenever a generator is completed, 10 seconds is removed from the death timer. Yeah, they disabled him on the PTB because, shocker, you know, PTB is full of bugs. But I'm more excited. I'm gonna fucking get a shitload of these things to invest in, and then it's go time, man. I think I had like 300 when I had her P1 for like, you know, since she like came out. So I'm kind of excited for that. Decrease the reverse bear trap death timer by 20 seconds. I still think 30 was fine. So now you can actually have the sketch and the annotated plan and have a starting amount of 6 bear traps, which is kind of cool. Whenever a generator is completed, 10 seconds is removed from the death timer of all active reverse bear traps. See, that would be a lot better if it was just in general. Because then I could understand this being on, like, only 20 seconds instead of 30. Like, if that was just for the timer in general for the entire game, that would be okay. I'm kind of excited to play her now, a little bit. Increase the reverse bear trap setting speed by 50%. Increased time required to search the jigsaw box by a third. The secret, that's still garbage, I have to say. And this is still... Yeah, that's still garbage too. The letter still needs a rework, I would say, and the secret. But everything else seems to be... Charge speed by 50%, miss cooldown by 20, okay. Alright, cool. So that seems... Alright, and the razor wires, oof. Plus we got a whole bunch of those, man. Yeah, we're gonna be dumping a whole lot of points into a pig when we get off of the PTB here. That's some good shit. Spirit, while phase walking... Oh, right here, sorry. We're happy to announce that the pig is getting an add-on balance pass. We've replaced a number of underperforming or unpopular add-ons with new effects and increased the values of others to make them more effective. Yeah, too bad you didn't fucking change the letter at all, I have to say. And increase the values on others to make them more effective. On the other end, tampered timer and creative gears could sometimes be too strong. Debatable. Especially when combined, so their values have been reduced. The end result should be an add-on set that is overall stronger, more diverse, and more fun to play. I mean, I'm not denying that tamper timer and creative gears were strong, but it's like, she's an RNG killer. Like, you could have terrible RNG, and with these two equipped, if they could just get to the first box, you know, that could be it for them. And that's it. Like, they just get the head trap off. Additionally, on certain maps, like maybe Midwich, where traveling is a bit difficult to go up and down on the floors, you could have a setup where, you know, creative gears, you know, tamper timer. It takes a long time to search through a box, and you know, could come down to the last box that you approach, and then you're pretty much dead. So, I disagree with this statement here that it could be sometimes too strong. The only times it would be strong is RNG kind of coming in and playing a role. And yeah, I would be a lot happier if these two would get fucking changed as well, because this is dog shit. I'm sorry. If I wanted to play Wraith, I would play Wraith, okay? I don't want to fucking, you know, see auras at the expense of 3 reverse bear traps being gone from my inventory. And then this as well. Like, that's dumb too. But everything else seems pretty good, so I'm kind of excited for that. Spirit. While phase walking, survivors within 24 meters of the spirit, not the husk, hear a directional audio cue that gains volume with proximity. A juniper bonsai. Added effect increases passive phasing duration by 50%. Reworked add-on. Dried cherry blossoms. Survivors trigger killer instinct while they come within 4 meters of the spirit while she is phasing. Scratch marks are no longer visible while using the ability. Survivors trigger killer instinct when they come within 4 meters of the spirit when she's phasing. So does killer instinct show up when... So does that mean that it just shows the little flashing stuff? A la Legion when you fucking feral frenzy somebody? Killer instinct can be really fucking powerful. The fact that it triggers with like people hiding in lockers is kind of OP, if I'm being honest. Wakazashi Saya. During Yamaoka's haunting, use the active ability button to return to Husk and end the haunting. Huh. So if you think survivors are nearby, you can kind of, or try to like gain some ground that you never really want to lose. And then maybe add the explosion add-on with that, so that kind of blocks off vaults and things like that. That actually could be... This one could be something to look out for, actually. However, it's kind of similar... Well, it's different with Nurse, I think. Because not many people use that. When you blink, you can blink back to where you started blinking from. Mother's Glasses. Survivors trigger killer instinct when they come within 2 meters of the husk. Scratch marks are no longer visible while using Yamaoka's haunting. Yeah, that seems terrible. Instantly recharges Yamaoka's haunting when stunned by a pallet. I mean, it's kind of playing into Enduring Spirit Fury with that, which is kind of stupid. Like, they'll go out of their way to make sure that Strider doesn't fucking work with Spirit anymore. But they sure as fuck will cater to Enduring Spirit Fury, which is so fucking... I hate that combo. I don't think killers should just get a free fucking hit because they get stunned by a pallet enough times. I think that's dumb. And that's something I've always kind of been adamant about. Senko Hanabi. When haunting ends, the spirit's husk explodes at any vaults within 4 meters and blocked for 5 seconds. That seems fucking cool. If they could make that maybe... If they could double the meters on that, or at least make it go up to 6, or increase the time, I'd be a little bit happier with it, but that seems really cool. On paper. Phasing sounds heard by all survivors. So that's the fucking anal beads, basically. Alright. Kintsugi Teacup instantly recharges Yamaoka's haunting after breaking a pallet or wall. Okay, so why fucking... So you have one that... So this is literally if you wanted to fucking play Enduring Spirit Fury. That's so stupid. Remove the bloody hair brooch, the dirty uwabaki, Katsumori talisman, prayer beads, bracelet, father glasses. So why did they got rid of father's glasses and put in mother's glasses? Alright, weird. A new terror radius music. Ooh. Spirits phase walking mind games have evolved into something of a Kobayashi Maru? What is that? Okay. By adding some audio cues, it should give sharp survivors a chance to figure out what she's doing and react accordingly. Along with this, we replace some of her more problematic / boring add-ons with new ones that should provide more varied options for potential playstyles. Yeah, you mean Spirit Fury Enduring. Yeah, great varied options there, pal. This is the only one that they previewed that I was kind of in favor for, by the way. I didn't like the Trappers. I didn't like the Spirits. I didn't like what they fucking did to Deathslinger. Plague is the only one here I'm kind of excited for. If the power button is released early, Vile Purge will continue charging to the minimum threshold instead of canceling and entering cooldown. Vile Purge cooldown move speed increased from 2.3 to 3.6. Hell yeah. I think that's good. Oh wait, no, if that's increasing the cooldown, maybe not. I take it back. Maybe that's not good. I'll have to give that a try. Cooldown move speed. Yeah, I'll have to give that a try to see if that's good or bad. Base object infection time increased to 40 seconds, was 35. Interacting with infected objects generates double the sickness over time than interacting with non-infected objects. Time to cleanse out a fountain increased to 8 seconds, was 6. Okay, that's kind of cool. Limestone Seal. Object infection bonus was increased to 20 seconds, was 5. Medic Potion. Increased Vile Purge effectiveness bonus to 30%. Hell yeah! That was 25. Object infection bonus for the Hematite Seal. Increased to 30 seconds, was 10. Now we're talking. Infected a Medic. Decreased Vile Purge effectiveness bonus to 40%, was 50. Ashen Apple. Removed object infection duration modifier. Added effect increases the number of pools of devotion in the trial by 1. That's kind of a double-edged sword. A little bit. Because if you just have people that aren't cleansing themselves, then, you know, that's not really going to come into play. At least with the apple, you had, like, an extra pool to go to if you wanted to cleanse. So I'm not keen with that one, if I'm being honest. Rubbing oil. Reduced Vile Purge charge speed bonus to 50%, was 100. Charge speed bonus to 50, so cut it in half. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, if this combines with this here a little bit, then I can understand, but that's one we'll have to try out. Exorcism Amulet. Increased Corrupt Purge duration bonus to 10 seconds. Devotee's Amulet. Increased Corrupt Purge duration bonus to 20 seconds. Was 8. Okay, that seems pretty good, I guess. Black Incense. Decreased Survivor Aura reveal duration to 3 seconds. Was 5. Don't like that. Remove speed penalty while holding Corrupt Purge. Yes! Yes. Prayer Tablet Fragments. Vile Purge no longer affects survivors. Increases object infection duration by 40 seconds. Increases infection from infected objects by 100%. Devious blood points by 100%. Don't care. The whole point is to infect people. Whether by objects, gens, or whatever, or just puking on them directly. I don't think this is going to work out like they think it's going to work out. I would much rather, at normal speed, infect people by puking on them than not being able to do that, just to increase the speed on infection items and things like that. So, we've worked add-on Alibanum Incense. Survivors who cleanse at fountains have their auras revealed for 4 seconds. That's kind of cool. But that's half of their cleansing time, so depending on where they're at, you may not be able to get over there in time. So it's kind of... That's also kind of a double-edged sword. A little bit there. Prophylactic Amulet decreases the number of pools of devotion in the trial by 2. Ooh. See, I would like it if the apple here, the where is it here? The Ashen Apple, if that kept the something where you could have an additional infected fountain, but also reduce the fountain at the same time. One of the apples, I think, should do that. But that's pretty cool. That's kind of neat. So that just makes it so that you can theoretically get your power quicker if they're cleansing a lot. Incensed Ointment. Ingesting the corruption at a pool of devotion causes all survivors within the plague stare radius to scream and reveal their locations. So infectious fright. I'm not a fan of putting add-ons with like abilities and perks that are already in the game, you know? I'm not a fan of that. Increases velocity of vomit projectiles by 10%. Interesting. That's something that, again, that should just be fucking part of her ability. Like, the velocity should be way up there, rather than this, like, limp fucking stream that she puts out. These changes are intended to be a general buff and to enhance quality of life for the plague. And I do not like this term, quality of life. Somebody, like, one game used it and they were like, hey, that sounds really good. Let's throw it in for vague terminology. For reworking things. And it's just, I don't know, I don't like it. It was far too common for players to attempt a quick purge only to accidentally reverse the charge a fraction of a second too early and unintentionally end up in a cooldown. Yeah. So we changed the behavior of early releases to charge a minimum threshold instead of going on cooldown. Also buffed the options for focusing on infecting objects during the trial, with infected objects now increasing infection faster than non-infected ones. Yeah, that last bit I'm not a fan of, but I'm kind of excited to give some of her shit a try. And hopefully they fix the issue where, like, the game seems like it's disconnecting with her, so I'll give her a try as well. Deathslinger must wait for the exit aim animation to complete before being able to attack for 0.6 seconds. Increased movement speed when aiming down sights to 85% with 75. Cooldown when a survivor breaks free is now the same duration as a successful hit cooldown. That's going to be shitty, by the way. Increased terror radius, that's awful. Slinger must wait to enter aim animation to complete before being able to fire. Removed movement speed penalty for the whiskey. Badge, removed movement speed penalty. Iridescent coin, decreased the range requirement to 12 meters, was 15. And the iron, when a survivor is speared, gain undetectable. The effect persists for 10 seconds after the survivor is no longer speared. Yeah, that last bit's pretty good. That's like the only decent thing coming out of it, but yeah, I'm not really feeling the overall changes to his ability in general. We were unhappy with how easy it was for players to insta-scope survivors, especially given how little counterplay this had for survivor players. To combat this Deathslinger now has a minimum enter/exit times when aiming down sights before being able to shoot and attack normally. We've also adjusted the stun when survivors break free to be the same as a successful hit, giving players a chance to break the reel early in exchange for losing out on the damage/deep wound. Yeah, I still don't understand how deep wound and the damage, like, that still doesn't make any sense how that fucking gets applied if they break free. Yet if you swing early to break the chain, they're A-okay. Like, that's super weird. That doesn't make sense, still, I have to say. Ghostface, Night Shroud recovery time decreased to 24 seconds, was 30. Walleye's Matchbook decreased Night Shroud recovery modifier to 2 seconds, was 4. Decrease night shroud recovery modifier to 3 with 6. Cheat pen. So they just adjusted some of the numbers. Player feedback about Ghostface's add-ons was very clear. Decreased recovery time is more appealing than any other option. In light of this, we've baked in roughly half the effect of these add-ons to encourage a wider variety of selection. Okay. Alright, that's cool. If they, I mean, if it's a buff to them, more power to Ghostface, I guess. Blight. Adrenaline Vial. Increased rush token recharge bonus to 1 second. Added effect. Increases rushing speed by 10%. Summoning Stone. Increased pallet and blocking range to 16 meters was 12. Increased pallet and blocking duration to 15 seconds was only 6. Yeah, that seems a lot better for the pallet blocking. Because, like, by the time you down him, the thing comes right off of fucking, you know, the little blockers go away. Adrenaline Vial is supposed to enable an alternate straight-line dash playstyle for players interested in novelty. While it's still unlikely to be stronger than baseline Blight play, increased movement speed and token recharge should make the alternate playstyle a bit more viable. Additionally, the values on Summoning Stone have been increased to better reflect the perk it is referencing, Blood Favor. Which, again, I've already stated, I'm not a fan of add-ons mimicking perks that are already in the game. So, Oni, Scale Top Knot, reduced Demon Dash activation reduction to 0.5 seconds was 1. Easy one here, Scale Top Knot was overperforming when used, so it needed an adjustment to bring it in line. Disagree, but okay. Following perks have become general perks, and their names have been changed. Now, this is to reflect the Stranger Things collection going away. So, Babysitters now Guardian. Camaraderie is now Kinship. Second Wind is now Renewal. Better Together is now Situational Awareness. Fixated is now Self-Aware. Inner Strength is now Inner Healing. So, I guess there's some, maybe there's some terminology that's connected with Stranger Things. I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody out there that can answer me on that. Vigil, recovery bonus increased to 20, 25, 30. It was 10, 15, 20. Added Broken, Exposed, and Oblivious to the status effects modified by the perk. That seems, I mean, Vigil seems a lot better now with that, so I have to say that's pretty cool. Formerly Babysitter. Added 7% haste status effect for the rescued survivor. Removed the Killer Seeing Your Aura. Killer Aura visibility for you increased to 8 seconds, was originally 4. Remove the Killer Seeing Your Aura. Killer Aura visibility for you increased to 8 seconds. Interesting. Reduce the duration of the broken status effect to 80, 70, 60 before the people. In the windows of opportunity, they got rid of the cooldown after vaulting. Increased the range. Generator repair requirement reduced to 55, 50, 45 for Best Alliance. What was this? Built to last rework. After hiding inside a locker for 14, 13, 12 seconds with a depleted item in hand, 99% of its charges are refilled. Each use of Built to Last reduces the amount of charges refilled by 33%. Added Stinger audio when item charges are refilled. This is probably going to counter Franklin's super hard, I have to say. That seems really fucking good. So basically you just let Franklin's eat up your item, then it sits on the ground. They never should have gotten rid of the... When your item depletes, it, like, the entity eats it, essentially. Like, they should have just fucking kept that in the game. Because now people are just basically going to counter Franklin's by, okay, my item's gone, I'll just run Built to Last, and then have it refilled 99% back up, you know? That's a super hard counter to Franklin's, I have to say. Any means necessary. You can see auras of dropped pallets now. That's kind of cool. No Miller Grunts of Pain reduced. Grunts of Pain reduction increased to 25, 50, 75%. Was 0, 25, 50. Added effect, your recovery speed is increased by 15, 20, 25. So you're still going to be able to hear people with no mither unless they're rocking Iron Will. Yeah, Iron Will, I believe, yeah. And then you can still pair it with Unbreakable, I guess. All of these perks have a low usage rate, low success rate, or both. They've all seen buffs to make them more appealing and more effective. Surge is now oh my god! Dude, that's literally one of the fake perks that I have. They literally fucking changed Surge to Jolt, like the cola. Like, that was the whole joke. Oh my god. Hold on, let me see here. Literally, this came to life. Right here. Alright, I forgot I can't drag and drop because Windows 10 is fucking dog shit. That was the joke, and it literally fucking came to life. That's hilarious. That actually is pretty fucking funny. Props to whoever did that. Surge is now Jolt. Mindbreaker is now Fearmonger. Cruel Limits is now Claustrophobia. More like Claudophobia. Woohoo! So basically, these all act the same. They just have a different name, unless they're... Yeah, Mindbreaker is the only one that got changed. I can't believe that. That's... Oh my god. Retribution. Oblivious Condition. Changed the trigger from interacting with any type of totem. Was just cleansing hex totems. Increased aura reveal time to 15 seconds. Was 10. Oblivious Condition changed the trigger from interacting with any type of totem. Was just cleansing hex totems. Okay. That should help out with the boon stuff, I guess. Because I would assume maybe... Yeah, if they place a boon, like a boon effect on a totem, then you can see where they... Well, they would be oblivious, never mind. Oh, but you can see them with the aura reveal time. I'm sorry. My fault. I'm getting a little tied up there. Palette blocking effect now triggers off basic attacks and special attacks. Then just say attacks, man. That's it. Palette blocking radius increased to 32 meters with 16. Cooldown's been removed. Blood Favorite. Okay. Well, I mean, that seems a lot better. That seems way better than the Blight add-on. But, again, Hex Totems just are not good in general, man. Blindness effect now triggers off basic attacks and special attacks. It's just basic attacks. Okay. Survivor penalty now applies to both Oh, that was for the third seal, by the way. Still kind of shitty, but at least, you know, it triggers off of any attack. Thrill of the Hunt. Survivor penalty now applies to both cleansing and blessing actions. It was just cleansing. Blessing is the boon effect here. Penalty stacks increased to 8, 9, 10% per stack. Was 4, 5, 6. Maximum penalty increased to 40, 45, 50. Was 30. Loud noise notification has been removed. So, survivor penalty now applied. Okay. Penalty stacks increased to 8, 9, 10. Maximum penalty to 40, 45, 50. Interesting they got rid of the noise notification. I wonder if people would just fucking... Well, I guess I did that one time where I was just spam fucking totem cleansing just to hear the dings for the killer. Make it seem like they had tinnitus. Mindbreaker now applies exhausted and blindness to survivors. Was just exhausted. Yeah. The other perks have been generally unpopular, so some buffs are warranted to increase viability. No, dude, you gotta fucking make hex totems better in general. I mean, it's cool that you buffed the, you know, individual hex perks, but like, we had this happen yesterday where we just spawned like literally right next to a fucking hex totem. So I mean, that's kind of the shitty aspect of it. And until that issue gets addressed, I really can't recommend throwing on a hex perk for a killer. Just straight up. Implemented a status effect preloading system to fix issues of hitches when a status effect is first applied during a match. Currently implemented for adrenaline balance. Okay, so an issue that could cause hitches when the survivor's unhooked. Optimizations on all hex perks, survivor items, yada yada yada. Saloons enabled. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to read through all these fucking bug fixes here. There's also known issues for the PTB. I think I successfully killed about an hour reading through all of this, but again, there's just a load of changes on this patch here. So, several totems on various maps cannot be snuffed by the killer, so that's great. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be like a strong boon effect from this new survivor, but let's see here. When a survivor cleanses a totem, the pieces appear to explode. Oh. We read that. Inside the boon totem radius, survivor's screen briefly becomes fully covered by the boon totem vignette when the killer switches between Charlotte and Victor. Trapper can place a bear trap at the beginning of the tutorial. Okay. Executioner hand does not rotate properly when picking up a survivor. Female survivor faces are distorted when chained by chain hunt. Oh no. Female survivors become stuck in the lament configuration solving animation if the Cenobite has previously teleported near them solving it. Cenobite chains are momentarily stretch and flicker at the start of his mori. Organs appear black during the hag's mori. Well, that's because they're rotten. We're dead. Blood does not pour out of Michaela's mouth during the Ghostface mori. Perk Guardian. External buff icon displays the icon for babysitter. Repressed Alliance perk description has the wrong value at tier 1. Retribution description is not properly updated. Videotape is disabled during the PTB. Survivors run in place when opening the hatch. Yeah, wow. I again, Surge is now Jolt. I had a fake fucking perk for that. Unbelievable. Cool. Alright. So what should we do first?